They are fighters. They are risk takers. They are family. They are valid. They are strong. They deserve their rights. They should be celebrated. They should be honored. And they are women. But they are not just women. They are just more than that. Hello people of the universe, it's me again, Jasper J. Tindog, and we will talk about today the Republic Act number 9710, or also known as Magna Carta of Women.
Brave, enthusiastic, energy, rare gem.
So, what is Magna Carta of Women? I guess some of you are familiar with this, especially women. Well, if you wonder what is this all about, then let's know what is RA 9710, or known as Magna Carta of Women. This act, which is a consideration of Senate Bill number 2396 and House Bill number 4273, was finally passed by the Senate and House of Representatives on May 19, 2009 and May 20, 2009 respectively. It was signed into law by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo on August 14, 2009. Now, the Magna Carta of Women, or MCW, is a comprehensive women's human rights law that seeks to eliminate discrimination through the recognition, protection, fulfillment, and promotion of the rights of Filipino women, especially those belonging in the marginalized sectors of the society. The Magna Carta is invaluable to advancing justice and women's human rights in the Philippines. Its passage marks a milestone in Philippine history and for the status of Filipino women. The Magna Carta conveys a framework of rights for women based directly on international law. Moreover, we will talk about what are the rights of women guaranteed under this law, or the Magna Carta of Women. Okay, all rights in the Philippine Constitution and those rights recognized under international instruments duly signed and ratified by the Philippines in consonance with Philippine laws shall be rights of women under the Magna Carta of Women. These rights shall be enjoyed without discrimination, since the law prohibits or not allow discrimination against women, whether done by public or private entities or individuals. Moving on, the Magna Carta of Women also spells out every woman's right to: first, protection from all forms of violence, including those committed by the state. This includes the incremental increase in the recruitment and training of women in government services that cater to women victims of gender-related offenses. It also ensures mandatory training on human rights and gender sensitivity to all government personnel involved in the protection and defense of women against gender-based violence, and mandates local government units to establish a violence against women desk in every barangay to address violence against women cases. Then, protection and security in times of disaster, calamities, and other crisis situations, especially in all phases of relief, recovery, rehabilitation, and construction efforts, including protection from sexual exploitation and sexual and gender-based violence. Then, participation and representation, including undertaking temporary special measures and affirmative actions to accelerate and ensure women equitable participation and representation in the third-level civil service, development councils and planning bodies, as well as political parties and international bodies, including the private sector. Then the right of equal treatment before the law, including the state's review and when necessary amendment or repeal of existing laws that are discriminatory to women. Then the right of equal access and elimination of discrimination against women in education, scholarships, and training. This includes revising educational materials and curricula to remove gender stereotypes and images, and outlawing the expulsion, non-readmission, prohibiting enrollment and other related discrimination against women students and the faculty due to pregnancy outside of marriage. The non-discrimination in employment in the field of military, police, and other similar services. This includes according the same promotional privileges and opportunities as the government counterpart, including pay increases, additional benefits, and awards based on competency and quality of performance. The dignity of women in the military, police, and other similar services shall always be respected. They shall be accorded with the same capacity as men to act in and enter into contracts, including marriage, as well as be entitled to leave benefits for women such as maternity leave as provided for in existing laws. Then the next right of women that they should know is the right to localized, accessible, secure, and affordable housing. Then employment, livelihood, credit, capital, and technology. Skills, training, scholarships, especially in research and development aimed towards women-friendly farm technology. The Magna Carta of Women defines the marginalized sectors as those who belong to the basic, disadvantaged, or vulnerable groups who are mostly living in poverty and have little or no access to land and other resources, basic social and economic services such as healthcare, education, water and sanitation, employment and livelihood opportunities, housing security, physical infrastructure, and the justice system. These include but are not limited to women in the following sectors or groups: small farmers and rural workers, fisher folk, urban poor, workers in the formal economy, workers in the informal economy, migrant workers, indigenous peoples, Moro, children, senior citizens, persons with disabilities, and solo parents. If you asked who are responsible in enforcing this law or who will be responsible for implementing the Magna Carta of Women, well, the state, the private, the sector, society in general, and all individuals shall contribute to the recognition, respect, and promotion of the rights of women defined and guaranteed in the Magna Carta of Women. The Philippine government shall be the primary duty bearer in implementing the said law. This means that all government offices, including local government units and government-owned and controlled corporations, shall be responsible to implement the provisions of Magna Carta of Women that falls within their mandate, particularly those that guarantee rights of women that require specific action from the state. As the primary duty bearer, the government is tasked to refrain from discriminating against women and violating their rights, protect women against discrimination and from violation of their rights by private corporation, entities, and individuals, and promote and fulfill the rights of women in all spheres, including their rights to substantive equality and non-discrimination. In addition, the government shall fulfill these duties through the development and implementation of laws, policies, regulatory instruments, administrative guidelines, and other appropriate measures, including temporary special measures. It shall also establish mechanisms to promote the coherent and integrated implementation of the Magna Carta of Women and other related laws and policies to effectively stop discrimination against Filipino women. Moving on, what are the specific responsibilities or government under the Magna Carta of Women? The Magna Carta of Women mandates all government offices, including government-owned and controlled corporation and local government units, to adopt gender mainstreaming as a strategy for implementing the law and attaining its objectives. It also mandates planning, budgeting, monitoring and evaluation for gender and development, the creation and strengthening of gender and development focal points, and the generation and maintenance of gender statistics and sex disaggregated database to aid in planning, programming, and policy formulation. Now, listen, because here are some consequences of violators against the law, and here are some penalties of violators. If the violation is committed by a government agency or any government office, including government-owned and controlled corporation and local government units, the person directly responsible for the violation, as well as the head of the agency or local chief executive, shall be held liable under the Magna Carta of Women. The sanction under administrative law, civil service, or other appropriate laws shall be recommended by the Commission of Human Rights to the Civil Service Commission and the Department of the Interior and Local Government. Furthermore, in cases where violence has been proven to be perpetrated by agents of the state, such shall be considered aggravating offenses with corresponding penalties depending on the severity of the offenses. Now, if the violation is committed by a private entity or individual, the person directly responsible for the violation shall be liable to pay damages. Further, the offended party can also pursue other remedies available under the law and can invoke any of the other provision of existing laws, especially those that protect the rights of women. And those are some of facts about the Republic Act 9710 or Magna Carta of Women that everyone should know, especially women. There are a lot to see to know the right of women. And to those who ever watching this right now, especially women, always know your rights because you belong here. You are not just a woman. You are more than just what you think or what does people think about you. Do not let someone ever silence your voice. Let your voice be heard for voiceless. Never let anyone look you down just because of who or what you are. You are brave, limitless, epitome, enthusiastic, and valid because you are a woman.